gotta keep the devil down in the hole.
Hey everybody, this is Dead Winter Dead with another Battlefield 4 video for you. Today is episode 4 of Hold the Point, and it's a little bit different one. I know that in the past they've been conquest videos where I actually hold the point, but the concept can be applied to the game mode Obliteration, which is a fun game. This is a game of Obliteration. I believe it's 64 player on Siege of Shanghai. As you can see, I am running the support class. I'm running the ACWR with a reflex sight, an angled grip, and a suppressor. I'm not sure if I have anything else on there. I might have a laser sight on there for some close quarter stuff. But this is just a beast of a weapon. Just a beast of a weapon. And the best thing about it, especially in Obliteration, is the fact that it's suppressed. Now, on Siege of Shanghai, this middle area here, what I guess is normally known as the hotel, the large hotel structure, that's pretty much the center of the map. That's like the push and pull area of the map, and that's where you want to hold the enemy. I mean, unless you can hold them near their bomb sites, then you want to hold them right here. And this is a great place to do it. There's a lot of vertical gameplay, and you typically just kind of end up playing this kind of ring around the rosy thing around the building, in the streets, back in the building, to take out these guys. And you'll see that that's how I do that, and it's extremely effective, especially while running a suppressed weapon. Now, I'm also running C4 on this rig, which means that I can take out vehicles if I absolutely have to, and you'll see that I do use it to good effect. But the fun thing about this was, I believe this game was almost an hour, maybe even over an hour, and I was near the top of the scoreboards for the longest time. For a while I was actually at the top of the scoreboard, and then another player came in and he was just beasting all over the map. But I ended up actually going 82 and 41. 82 kills, 41 deaths. Which, you know, I mean, it's always good to come out with a positive KD, but in an Obliteration game mode, especially 64 player, where you're just, you know, everywhere you move, it's just chaos. It's anyway, I find it difficult to actually have a positive KD at the end of the match, especially if you're playing the objective. Now, I cut out a lot of the boring parts because there was a lot of running back and forth and a lot of me, you know, dropping in, you know, parachute drops and all this stuff. And a lot of that's just not boring to watch. I tried to put in the fun meat and potato stuff that you guys like to see. Now, the way I'm tying this in to Hold the Point is pretty simple. And right here you see a C4 weapon switch fail right there. I was going to switch to my secondary and take that guy out, but I accidentally rolled the middle mouse button a little too far, and it switched over to C4, and I immediately pressed the fire button, which threw my C4, then realized I can't blow this guy up, he's right here, I would kill myself. So I had to switch back to my secondary. Luckily he was occupied with some of my teammates. But anyway, the way I'm going to tie this in to Hold the Point is basically this. You'll see that most of this gameplay is either on the street in front of the hotel, in the lobby and lower floors of the hotel, or on the top floors of the hotel. And that is the point that I'm going to hold. That's the point that I'm going to keep the enemy on their toes. And the way that works is running a suppressed weapon. You see guys, I mean, this guy right here, he has no idea what's going on. He just got picked off. You know, hey, where was that guy? Another guy right in my face just got picked off again. And the thing about it is, every time I kill a bad guy, I don't show up on the minimap unless, of course, I used an unsuppressed weapon. Now, the little skull and crossbones marking out a dead player will, of course, show on the enemy's minimap, but that doesn't mean that that's exactly where I am. And the thing is, you'll see me, I continually move, I constantly move, constantly run. In a game mode like Obliteration, you can't really afford to stand still. At least you can't afford to stand still and do well. Now, if you're a recon player who likes to play the sniper type recon and hang out on the buildings, that's all well and good, but you will not achieve really high scores. You probably won't top the the scoreboard on this match. And if you're up on the roof all day, you know, picking off targets at a distance, while that may be helping your team and it's certainly helping your stats, you're not going to be attacking the bomb or defending the bomb. None of that stuff. So this is the best way to do it if you want to really PTFO and you want to really rack up some high scores. Right here, I'm stuck under this bridge with bad guys all around me. Luckily, that tank was occupied, so I was able to run up quick, drop C4, get a triple kill on that. When you're playing Obliteration and you run up on these vehicles with C4, if you're going to C4 them or if you're going to put a slam, the M2 slam on the actual body of the vehicle, you need to just not hesitate. As soon as you determine that they're not looking at you, run out there, move as fast as you can. Because the more you hesitate, the more you kind of go and stop and go and stop. Eventually, someone's going to see you, and they're going to nail you down. Now, right here is something that I like to preach. You see, I was able to get a kill there, and I peek again, and I'm able to get another kill, but the guy takes me down. And look what happens. Immediately, I get rezzed. Now, I know it was my fault because I accepted the res and jumped right back into the fight. But that was because I assumed that the friendly players, or at least the one who res me, or maybe some of them around, had cleared that area, which obviously they hadn't. Remember that I said a couple videos ago that the best battlefield medicine is fire superiority, and that's actually a real phrase that's used in the United States Army. The best battlefield medicine is fire superiority. That means as soon as you go down, or as soon as you see a teammate go down, the rest of your team needs to make sure that the threat is eliminated before they start running out there and rezzing everybody. That's just, you know, that's the way it should be done. That's not the way it's always done, but you should probably practice that because it is kind of a pain in the butt to get shot, accept the res from a friendly player, jump up to your feet, or even not even get a chance to get to your feet, and end up dead again because the medic who rezzed you didn't take the time to, didn't take the extra 2 or 3 seconds to at least look around and make sure there were no more bad guys in the immediate area. Now right here, this is on top of the hotel. This is kind of a tricky area because you can possibly have enemies below, but you need to keep your ears open for the little bell sound that the elevator makes. Now I was able to hear it, and I knew that those doors were going to open. Now they could have been friendly players just coming up to help me, but in this case it was 2 bad guy players, and luckily I had a friendly with me who helped me take down those guys. But you just remember to listen. There's all sorts of audio cues in Battlefield. Remember to keep your ears as well as your eyes open. Now the top story of this hotel area is always really tricky and usually pretty difficult to clear out. I would suggest absolutely running a suppressor when you're trying to do it. And again, unless the enemy is dug in and they know where you are, just keep moving. Move, because you're going to eventually outflank them. Now these guys are pretty smart. They had their radio beacon set up so they didn't have to, constantly go up the elevators. They could just keep a strong foothold on this upper story, which is pretty good in the Obliteration mode because the bomb is going to spawn somewhere around the hotel. It usually spawns somewhere within the middle of the map. I'm sure there are some invisible boundaries that the program adheres to. So it's a pretty smart idea to keep a strong foothold in some part of the hotel, whether it's the bottom floor, the street, or the upper floor. And remember that if you do keep the upper floors, this top floor, in your team's possession, the enemy will always have to come to you. They have to either ride the elevators up, or they have to come via helicopter, which you can see them coming a mile away. So it's a pretty easy area to keep locked down, and it's a fairly difficult area to clear out, especially if you're running solo. Now, one thing I want to point out, I've been posting videos on YouTube for about a month. This is probably, I don't know, maybe my 22nd video, something like that. And just keep in mind, guys, that I'm giving you tips and tricks, and this is just stuff that works for me. I am not a competitive player. I do not have the Twitch skills to be a competitive player. I wish I did, but I just don't. There are many, many other players who are a lot better than me, and there are a lot of players who are a lot worse than me. I'm pretty average. I make these videos because I enjoy it. I've got nothing but time right now, so I'm just having fun playing the game, making these videos, and just putting some ideas out there that, you know, it's always good. It's always good to see how someone else does something. I mean, you might have a set of rules or a set of principles that you play by, and I might have a different way of looking at it that may or may not work for you. So, you know, just bear in mind, guys, that I'm by no means a professional. I'm just an enthusiast. I just like to play. I like to have fun. And, you know, together we can all just get better. If you guys have any tips or tricks for me, things that I've overlooked or things that I constantly do wrong, go ahead and put them in the comments. I absolutely welcome that stuff because I want to become a better player. But, you know, I just wanted to put that out there because I've had some YouTube messages. People send me messages. Well, you know, you're not that good, and there's so many other players that are better than you. And yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, I'm just, like I said, an average player. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It was a really fun round. As you can see here, I don't know. I didn't top the scoreboard, but I did fairly well. But I got a ton of points. I think I got like 3 medals and some service stars and some battle packs and all kinds of cool stuff, just cool guy stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. My name's Dead Winter Dead. Thanks for watching.